Hey there. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Calliope, the Oracle Shaman, and this is our Oracular Shamanic Sorcery Minute. Today's topic is on the following question. Can males be sexual shamans? This is going to be a doozy of a topic, and this is just my introduction to a call that I am doing on this. I was having a discussion with one of my sister friends yesterday, and let me just start by saying I've got some of the most amazing sister friends on the planet, just some really dynamic women who have, chosen to be a part of my life and be a part of their life, and each of us edifying to one another. And so one of the things that my sister said to me yesterday was we were talking about lust. We were talking about lust, attraction, and all that comes with it. And she was asking me what to do in the event of lust. And it made me take a moment to think about my own life. And, I know all of us women, we are so different. We're so diverse as beings, as people. And not all of us are the same. Not all of us have the same feelings, leanings, understandings. That's just based on our own level of spiritual edification, regular natural, education or gnosis, knowledge, whatever you want to call it, whatever you feel most comfortable in terming that. So we're different. We all like something different. No two women are alike. Yes, we might all be female by virtue of being born with a body that has been gendered female, being born with the womb, being born with the vagina, being born with breasts. These things are part of what makes us women. And we all are different. Some women are attracted to men. Some women aren't attracted to men at all. Some women prefer to be in relationships with other women. Some women prefer to be in relationships with men. So with that said, as much as I can identify as a heterosexual female, I have never lusted after a man before in my life. I have never permitted myself to reduce myself to that. And for me, it would be a reduction because of who I have been called to be, because of what I claim and represent. To me, it would be a reduction. To someone else, it might be an amplification, and that's fine for her. We're all different. But to lust after a man, what does that mean for us as women? In a world that is patriarchal, in a world where male sexual terrorism is rampant and the norm, in a world where, especially for we black women, for over 50% of us, our first sexual experience was rape or molestation. And more often than not, since we are black women, that means that it was a black man that did it, because most rape and sexual assault survivors know their rapist. They know him and they trust him as a brother, as a friend, as an uncle, as a friend of the family. He might have been your father's friend, your mother's friend. He might have been your brother's friend. He might have been your cousin's friend. Who knows? But either way, more often than not, women are very much so aware of who these men are that have attacked them or have, manipulated their sexual energy so that they can have access to it and enjoy it without really needing that woman's consent or permission to do so. And this is just the norm. This is a disgusting norm, but this is just the norm on the planet. And so since the phallus, the penis, is now a weapon of massive destruction of the female sexual sovereignty, sexual autonomy, spiritual autonomy, bodily autonomy, can men be shamanic in their sexuality? Can men be healers in sexuality? Are men capable of being more than rapist abusers with the penis? Are their penises capable of being more than weapons of massive destruction for the yoni in the womb? And I think that this is not going to be an easy topic. Actually, I know it's not going to be an easy topic. Even if I was talking to my sister friend yesterday, there was some difficulty between the two of us trying to reconcile what is the truth versus what we emotionally want to believe in. It's a very difficult thing for women who have attraction to men, who have love for men. You might have a male partner. Of course, you've got a father. You might have a brother. You might have a cousin. You might just have some male in your life that is a masculine protector that you really love and respect. You might be the mother of a male. And so this is not easy for us, those of us who do love men, who have men in our lives that we love, that we exchange in love with. It's not an easy conversation to have. I was experiencing an extreme difficulty in even broaching it, but, it's a little bit easier when you have been trained to debate. When you are a trained debater, when you were trained on debate teams, say you were in the debate team in high school or college, you know that you have to know the opposing team's viewpoints inside and out almost better than your own viewpoint, because your argument is nothing if you don't know what your opponent is saying, you don't know what you're opposing. So for me, I tried to keep it in that frame of mind when I was having this conversation with my sister friend yesterday, and it helped us. It certainly helped me. She said that, she was definitely lifted by the focus on truth versus emotionalism because, I've got a male partner, she's got a son, so it was difficult to really go there for both of us. And I think that this is a lot of what we women experience because we love men. It's difficult for us to see all of them. And it's difficult for us to see the members of their cohort who are absolutely horrible, beastly, abusive, rapists, pedophilic creeps. It's very, very difficult. And the more connected you are to that masculine energy, the less inclined you're going to be to want to see that hyper-masculine, diminished masculine beast energy and experience it or even acknowledge it. So there's danger in that because the lack of desire to acknowledge the beast faction of the male cohort means that beast faction gets a pass. Because we are so used to, but not all men, but there are some good men. Well, some brothers do this, but there are still some men out there to take care of their kids. Because we are so eager to not discuss the beast faction of the male population, because we are so eager to not lump the masculine faction of the male population in with the beast faction of the male population, we always give those people a pass. I'm going to say the following, and this is not, going to be easy for everyone to absorb and, to kind of accept, but there are always going to be exceptions to the rule. The exceptions, however, do not change the rule. And so if the rule among males is dominance, supremacy, rape as a weapon of war, ownership over female bodies, which we're seeing in the political sphere, and I'm not seeing a whole hell of a lot of pushback from men who are not politicians, and many other things. If we don't focus on that, if we don't discuss that, if we don't call that out as not being okay, we're basically complicit with it. We're helping them. We're endorsing it. We're trying to hide it. We're not really calling that stuff out. And like I said earlier, I can understand the reluctance to do so. But when we look at the greater impact that this is having on women, when we look at the fact that over 50% of all women's first experience sexually was coercive, was rape, was molestation, was pedophilic in nature, what are we now saying as adult women who are sexually active, who are, who have choice power? We're not children anymore. We're not minors. What are we saying as adult women, as mothers, to and about the daughters and about the beastly faction of the male population that is a rapist, abuser of the feminine sexual spirit? What are we saying? We're basically saying it's okay. It's okay for you to torture our daughters. It's okay for you to prey on our daughters. It's okay for you to reduce the maiden to a hoe or a slut or she wanted it. It's okay for you to say these things about the maiden sexual energy, to misappropriate it, to abuse it, to misuse it for your own gratification. And we're also saying to the maiden it's her fault. And we're saying that, because she made a choice, that's how it happened. We have to be very careful, ladies. We've got to be very careful because we are patriarchal too. It's not just the men that are patriarchal in this society. women are also patriarchal. We have internalized anti-woman sentiment, we women, and just the same as black people have internalized anti-black sentiment. We've internalized white racism, and we women have internalized male supremacy. And we end up taking these things on. We end up taking these on as parts of our identity, how we engage the world, how we interact with the world. Even just the willingness to have this discussion and to question whether or not it is in the female's best interest that men act as sexual shamans, and to ask, are they even capable of being healing sexually? Can men heal women through sex? Are they capable of being healers of the yin energy in a world where everything about them from birth to this present point in their life has trained them to disrespect the yin energy, to rape the yin energy? When I say rape the yin energy, I mean reducing the yin, suppressing the yin, submitting the yin energy, the female, the feminine energy, to the male dominant lie and myth. Males are not dominant. They're dominating, and they've been trained to be dominating because the patriarchy needs patriarchs. The only way that it can survive is if men subscribe to being patriarchs. And so this is where some of this lie and these myths about what it means to be masculine come in. And this is really a great theme that's going on right now. I talked about this with my intro, Heroes Damos. We're going to get into this a lot more on Monday's Blog Talk Show, so make sure you tune in. I'll put the link with this video here. And I'm excited about this. Can men, with all that we know about history, with all that we know about the male sexual energy, with all that we know about the ways that men are trained to view and value their penis, with the ways that they use the penis to relate to the female and the feminine and her body and her sexuality, are they capable of healing women via sex? And the women who are saying that they've experienced tantra, that they've experienced shamanic healing via sex with these so-called male sexual shamans, are they telling us the truth, or is this more female complicity to help the male agenda, the male supremacist, female-hating agenda of the patriarchy? Because there are complicit women. Women are very much so patriarchal soldiers and patriarchal police for men. We need to question these things. And I'm excited about introducing this topic and bringing this up and, just exploring it. I don't have a set answer right now. I'm not willing to even speculate on a set answer. I am more so engaging the question. Something that I say all the time, it is through our questions, through our questioning, that we find our quest. So the quest I am on, the question, will lead me into my life path, my life journey, my life quest, what's in my highest good, what's best for me. So with that, I'm going to close this out. I'm going to be posting this video in just a few moments, and I am looking forward to you signing up to, discuss. It's going to be a female-only call at first, and then I will have another call where we can have the men come in, and, they can discuss their experience as so-called healers, tantra healers, shaman, so-called sexual shaman, and so on and so forth. And, we can just kind of get an eclectic understanding of this and a working understanding of it so that women have a greater educational framework to stand on and to work from when we talk about shamanism and sexual healing and whether or not the penis, which is now a weapon of massive destruction for the feminine, is capable of being a healer. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure you click the link below. Bye-bye.